to me, one of the themes of the book was, what were these returnees carrying in their luggage when they came to live in the motherland. And one of the things they were carrying was their language. And I think Dulce manages to show the strangeness of some of those words and that vocabulary when they arrived. And obviously there were words that they could use amongst themselves, but there's the moment when Rui is trying to use his vocabulary at school, and is obviously told off because it's inappropriate language. It's a language of the returnees, it's a language of the periphery, and so not accepted. And to me, the question was, can you do something similar to this in English? Should I try to find equivalents or substitutes, words in English that are a form of slang and that would sound just as strange to an English reader? I played with the idea of sort of American English versus British English, but I really couldn't find a satisfactory solution. But I think in most cases, the context tells you everything you need to know. I mean, there's a wonderful, wonderful passage where a group of men are sort of smoking behind the containers and reminiscing about going to the brothels in Luanda. And the word is munyungu. Now, so that's a brothel. And I could have tried to find like another interesting word, slang word for a brothel, but it was such a wonderful word, and people would understand what these men were talking about if I used the word munyungu, and I think an English language reader will take on board that strangeness of the language, but I think that adds to the experience of what was happening. It sort of replicates what was happening in 1975 as these people came carrying all these words and their music. So to me, that was a solution. I did think about using, do we need to explain this by using notes? I'm not a fan of footnotes in literature, unless, this is sort of the David Foster Wallace kind of use. Deliberate use of footnotes as a literary device. But I think unless there is something that is absolutely essential that needs to be explained, and you can't find any other way apart from adding a footnote at the bottom of the page, I usually try to find other ways to do that.
It's interesting, Angel, because for me as a Brazilian reader, there were lots I just took on board. I think for me, reading first in Portuguese, the book, and it gave me this flavor of this strangeness, and it made me feel closer to the retornados, because it's something that was new, and you're just like discovering it. And it's so clear the way Dulce writes that you're just like discovering, oh, so that's what it means. And it's clear along the narrative, you get the meaning of the words that is strange to you. Because in Brazil, it's very, I didn't know any of these words, there was, unlike Portuguese, European Portuguese readers would understand some words. So yeah, I think it was wonderful that you decided not to translate it.